So, hello guys, today I'm going to introduce you my new Telegram bot. This bot is done using Flask and Telebot wrapper, and also I use it OpenCV library for image processing. Actually, this bot is for my university project for multimedia computing subject. Uh, in order to illustrate my image processing knowledge. So what this bot can do, it has 4 functionalities. You have to send your photo in order to use that bot, and it has 4 functionalities. First is scanning the document, sketching the image, cartoonizing the image, and adding widget filter to your image. So let's get started. How you can use this bot? Basically, you have to go through these 8 simple steps. First of all, you have to create your virtual environment and activate your virtual environment and install required packages using pip install requirement.txt and set up paths in your project. Here I statically made a path for temporary saving images to my local storage. And if you know, guys, about Webhook, I used Webhook in order to make my Telegram bot work efficient. So you have to download ngrok from this link. I will provide it in the description. So then what is ngrok is doing? It's generating forwarding URL, like you will assign your port. In this case, I'm assigning port 5000. And for this port, ngrok server will create a link, create a URL. So it will forward that URL to your port. Any kind of request to that URL, it will forward to your port localhost 5000. So then running the ngrok server, we will get that URL, and generated URL we have to set webhook in our application. Here it is. You have to put that URL over here. Let's get started. How we can do this? Running ngrok 5000, HTTP ngrok 5000. So getting this HTTPS URL for our webhook and replacing it here. I'm using ngrok in order to use my computer for setting webhook. So this will basically set webhook for your Telegram bot. Actually, what this webhook is doing, if you take a simple Telegram bot running on your local computer, you have to send request to the Telegram server. Is there any message for me? Is there any message for me, like this? And in the case of webhook, Telegram server will send a request to that webhook that you got a message. You got a message, kind of. You don't have to send any kind of request to that Telegram server. It will be more efficient if you use webhook in your Telegram bot. So as you go through these steps, you will be able to use my application. So we set it webhook. We are good to go. So let's run the application. Check that. Yep, webhook is working now. Now we can start our communication with bot. So bot sent me 4 buttons. I can choose whatever I want. There is a 4 functionalities introduced, and I can choose that functionalities over here. So let's choose first one. It's for scanning the document. I need to. Bot is asking me to send a photo to scan. Here, photo of my document. So here I use it OpenCV library for in order to take work on that image. Let's wait. Yep, you got it. Here, how it's working. I'm pressing the button, and that button handler goes to specific function, and that specific function asked me to send photo. By sending the photo, I'm saving that photo and reading this in a with the help of OpenCV library, and making some manipulations on that image. Here I'm calculating some contours, 4 points, and taking that 4 points, grabbing from that 4 points my image. Next is a sketch image. Is everything okay there? Yeah, it's because of internet connection. It's kind of slowing down my bot. My internet connection is not cool, that's why. As the size of these images are kind of big, and manipulating power of my computer is not so great. That's why it's taking some time. Here my sketched image, and next is cartoonizing the image. Let's try it with this girl. I sent my image. Yep, Telegram sent me back this cartoonized image. And last but not least, widget filter, which makes it awesome, look like awesome. Here we go. So that's all about my bot. Let's get down into business and take a look of code and understand how it's working. So when you run application, Flask app will run this port, and here I assigned my webhook, and if somebody uses my Telegram bot, Telegram will send to that URL request that somebody is using your bot, and will forward what kind of message I got from which user, and it will come to this start function, because my start command handler is here. It's handling this, and here I'm using dictionary for users in order to make in order to not make a mess, because if multiple users is using your Telegram bot in the same time, it can mess up with your users, and it will not always send appropriate image to that particular user. That's why you have to make a rule that you have to communicate with everyone one-to-one. So in my case, every user has their own chat ID, their own path for the photo. And here I'm sending that 4 buttons for functionality, assigning that buttons and sending that buttons over here and asking user to choose operation to perform. So if the scan document button are pressed, it will come over here. So I got a handler here. It will come to this function. So when the button is pressed, we will ask to the photo to send, and by using register next step handler function, we will just forward that message to this function, and that message comes to here. And we have to handle some errors that user might send you some text message, some video, some audio, so they can send it by mistake or they can intentionally send it. So you have to handle this. By message.content-type, we are checking the content type of message, and if it's photo, we are using this one. So if it's photo, we are identifying the user, it belong to which user it belongs, and if you find that user, we will get that photo and save that photo for that particular user here, and then download that photo in that directory here. I'm giving that I'm reading that photo with the help of OpenCV library and manipulating it, giving that function to my scanner function, which is over here. Yep. Sending that object of my photo here with the help of OpenCV and some math, I'm getting the output. Then that output, I'm taking it, I'm writing it to that temporary folder which belongs to that user, and reading it as a photo, as a binary, and sending it to that particular user, and deleting that particular user from my users table, because that user can use other functionalities too for other time, and sending again that buttons, that functionalities, in order to that user can use this functionalities again and again. So basically it's pretty much everything. The structure of the code for sketch photo and cartoonized photo and vignette filter, it's the same as scanner. So thank you for your attention. It was everything about my Telegram bot.